Okay, first off we need to install XAMPP. We need to install it into the C drive. I will do a quick speed up process with this one. This will install your Apache with PHP and MySQL, although we will only be using the Apache. We just use the defaults for the console box, so just yes for these ones and no. And we just press 1 for starting the control panel. And then we hit start on Apache. Unblock. And now we load up Explorer and go to localhost. Should now see the XAMPP control interface, and you'll see that we're running PHP. We'll go to the PHP info, and then we can find the document root. So just copy the document root value, and then we'll run that from the start button to jump directly into that folder. And this is where you have to copy the EVA extracted zip file. Okay, and now we load up. For manipulating my code, it's best to use TextPad because Notepad doesn't use the enter characters correctly. So we'll just download the TextPad and install that. We also need to download and install Safari as well, so we'll get there too. So now we've got TextPad loaded. We can now go to our EVA directory, so localhost/EVA, and if we see gobbledygook, it's because the short tags of PHP have not been activated in our Apache. So we just go to info, PHP info, we'll find the php.ini file that we're using, and we'll just copy that value for that location, and we'll open that in TextPad. Okay, and here we have to find the short tags. I think short open tags by default should be on, but the XAMPP is now distributing their application with it off, so we'll just change that to on, save that, and then we have to go to the XAMPP control window, stop Apache, and wait for that running sign to disappear, and then we start Apache again. We can now go back to our EVA test window and refresh, and now we see it working. Because it's an Internet Explorer, we don't see all the nice GUI interface that comes with Safari, so we'll now download Safari and install that. Just a quick note, you don't need to add your email address into Safari to download it. You just deselect the notify me option to get around that. And I'll install it now. So now that we've installed Safari, we'll just check to see that our EVA script is working in Safari by going to localhost/EVA. And we see now the GUI. Okay, I've now moved over to my EVA 2 version, so all I've done is copied the my EVA 2, I'll zip that up for you, you put it instead of the EVA files. Now here we'll just go to ipconfig in the command prompt to find our IP for the machine. You want to make sure that your machine IP is actually a static IP, so that you don't have to keep on dynamically changing it. Okay, so now we run with our IP rather than localhost to EVA, in this case EVA 2, and we can now see it working fine under an IP direct. Right, now this is just a iPhone demo from Mobi 1. Saves me having to record me doing it on the phone, so it's a screencast for that. We just load up Safari and go to the IP/EVA2, and now we can click on the plus button and add to home screen to create a bookmark. And there we go, you'll now see the icon on the home screen. So click on that and load just directly into your web page, which is coming off your local machine. Here we go through the navigations of all the folders you set up in the script. I'll go into the Castle 3 and we'll play. So that's now sent off to the TV, and here is the revised version, shows you the thumbnails for each of those skipping points that you can jump to. So every time you play, I'm now generating another 9 thumbnails that are 10%, 20%, 30%, so forth. And here you can see that the EVA actually is playing that file. And we've now got a YouTube. There's a very basic YouTube search, and it returns, I think, 10 listings, and it will try and get 720. Then 480 before it tries to get the 102, the 1080 HD. It can't do any of the other formats because EVA natively can't display them. The other problem is when EVA gets a web page to stream, it thinks it's audio, so it then turns the menu to go on top. So I've told it to send a back button through to it 5 seconds or 10 seconds later to put the menu away. And you can watch the trailer. Here you can see that the thumbnails are being generated on a new listing. That's we haven't cached these before, so it's now going through and generating the thumbnails for each of those particular movie files. And if there's thumbnails double up or you need to change it, you can click on the picture and request a different frame number, and it instantly grabs it. That's sped up since the last version of my EVA script. And we also now do a folder JPEG, so if there's a folder JPEG, we go and grab that folder JPEG and put that as the thumbnail, as you see loading now, of all the folder JPEGs. And that's the new revised script and how to install it.